All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful way of looking at what's actually going on when she ignores you. And more importantly, we're going to talk about the 5 critical mistakes that can just completely unravel everything in those first 24 hours. So imagine this. She's gone quiet, the texts stop. Your first impulse, right, is to figure out why. But here's the thing, that's actually the wrong question. Her initial silence, that's not the main event. The real test, the moment that defines absolutely everything, is what you choose to do next. And this quote right here, it just gets to the absolute heart of the matter. It flips the whole thing on its head. See, the relationship isn't really lost when she goes silent. It's lost in how you react to that silence. Your response ends up revealing everything about your inner confidence and your stability. Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to talk about the core idea, how her silence is basically a mirror. Then, we're going to dive deep into the 5 most common and, frankly, attraction-killing mistakes you can make when it happens. So the first big idea is you have to completely reframe what's happening. Her silence isn't some kind of personal attack or a final rejection. You got to see it as a mirror. It's just an unplanned, kind of natural test that reflects your own internal state right back at you. The question it's asking is, are you stable or are you easily rattled? And this all comes down to a key concept called frame. Now, frame is just your core emotional stability. It's that part of you that stays solid, that stays unshaken, whether you're getting tons of attention or complete silence. It really answers the question, is your confidence coming from inside, or do you need her validation for it to even exist? So, how does a weak frame actually show up? Well, that leads us straight into our first and honestly most destructive mistake, the panic chase. I love this description for it. It's like your brain goes into cocaine hamster mode. Just this frantic, panicked scramble to get her attention back no matter what it costs. And you can really see the 2 paths you can take here. On the one side, you've got that fear reaction. You're double texting, asking, are you okay? Just frantically trying to explain yourself. And on the other side, you have the solid reaction. You just let the silence breathe. You go back to your own life and you just observe what's happening. Because here's the message you're sending, whether you mean to or not. Chasing screams, my emotional state is completely dependent on you. It shows her that the second her attention is gone, your whole world just grinds to a halt and you start to fall apart. And the irony is, that feeling of pressure is usually the very thing that makes her pull away even more. Okay, let's move on to mistake number 2. This one's a little more subtle than just panic chasing. This is that impulse to demand answers, right? Asking questions like, why are you being so distant? Or, hey, did I do something wrong? Now, what's really interesting here is the subtext of that question. When you demand an explanation, she doesn't hear a mature guy trying to communicate. What she feels is your instability. You're basically signaling that you can't handle the unknown and that you need her to calm you down. You're asking her to manage your emotions. And that just shifts the whole dynamic from a lover to a mother. So what do you do instead? It's simple. You stop interrogating reality and you just start observing it. Don't ask why she's being distant. Just observe what is happening. Is this a one-time thing or is it becoming a pattern? See, her actions or her lack of action, that is the explanation. A guy with a strong frame just lets that answer reveal itself over time. This brings us to mistake number 3. And this one is so common because it feels like you're doing the right thing, the nice guy thing. This is when she pulls back and you react by doubling down on your effort. You start giving more compliments, doing more favors, showering her with attention. And this quote, wow, it is brutally honest. When you give more to someone who's giving less, you are subconsciously teaching her that your time and your attention have no real value. You're basically training her to see your investment as cheap. And that's how you end up being tolerated, not actually desired. So the correct move here is to just match reality. It's super simple, really. When her energy drops, you don't raise yours up to try and compensate. Nope. You just keep your own energy stable, and you invest when she invests. And look, this isn't about playing games or trying to punish her. It's just about having self-respect and valuing your own energy. Now for the complete other side of the coin. Mistake number 4 is for the guy who thinks, oh, okay, she's ignoring me. Fine, I'll show her. This is that reactive, ego-driven response of revenge ignoring, where you're actively trying to punish her with your own silence. And this comparison is so important. Revenge ignoring, that comes from a place of ego, of being hurt. it feels bitter and frankly childish. But a clean absence, that comes from fullness. You're not available because you are genuinely busy living an interesting life. One is a reactive game, the other is genuine strength. Trust me, she can feel the difference immediately. Okay, this last mistake is maybe the sneakiest one of all, because it happens completely inside your own head. You might do everything right on the outside. No chasing, no games, but internally, you've let her silence completely hijack your mind. And you know you're in this waiting room if this sounds familiar. You're constantly checking your phone. You can't focus on work. You find yourself rereading old messages trying to find clues. Your entire day just stops. Your mood is totally dependent on whether or not you get a notification. You're not really living, you're just waiting. So the only way out is through pure discipline. You have to aggressively, consciously anchor yourself back into your own life. Go to the gym, get laser focused on your work, connect with your friends, and this is key, do it not as a tactic to get her attention, but as a way to remind yourself that you are the one who controls your emotional state. And when you do this, when you hold that solid frame, it creates this incredible win-win scenario, no matter what happens. If she was just busy, or maybe she was testing you and she comes back, she returns to a man who is stable and her respect for you actually grows. And if she doesn't come back, well, your life never stopped. You didn't waste days of your energy on someone who wasn't choosing you. Either way, you win. Which leaves us with this final, powerful question to really think about. The ultimate measure of your strength of your frame isn't about your ability to keep someone's attention. It's about who you are and what's left of you the moment that attention disappears.